Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from Nate and Justin.
What's up, guys?
Here at Out of the Basement. Today on Figure It Out, our Black Series talk show, we are going to be doing our A New Hope Most Wanted wish list.
Yep, it's been such a long time coming. We are finally in the OT, Nate. So for those of you...
Safe and cozy.
Yes, for those of you who have followed the channel for a while, the original trilogy is our bread and butter. It's our main trilogy. Masterpieces, mastercraft, some of the most influential space opera fantasy films of all time. We are fans of the prequel era as well, but the OT reigns supreme, and there is a reason these films are preserved in the National Film Registry. I feel like I really want to home in on how much we love the OT, because the Black Series community, I feel like, at least online presence, is dominated by prequel era fans.
Absolutely.
A lot of OT releases get a little bit of pushback because, well, they're not clone troopers. So I'm just so excited to get into this because there are so many deep cut background characters that we would love to get, secondary characters, just so much goodness from the OT that we still need to get in the line.
Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you are new. Just like always on this new updated version of our series, there's no number or set idea. It's just stuff that we want from A New Hope. So Justin, start us off with our first pick.
Black Series came out in 2013, Nate, and a lot of heavy hitters from A New Hope are from like those first few years. And with modern Black Series sculpting, I think the sculpts and articulation is the best it's ever been. And I feel like a lot of the original trilogy characters have been left in the dust when we're getting all these new, like, fantastic, excellently sculpted, like the deep cut single hinges, the butterfly joints and everything, elbow swivel, Han, Luke, and Leia, as well as, I know you wanted to throw in Jawa and Tusken Raider. These are all characters, Han, Luke, and Leia, the main heroes from that first film. They just need complete head-to-toe, 100% new sculpts, especially Han and Luke.
I think when it comes to Luke, we should see something more in line with what SH Figure Arts did.
Yes.
The SH Figure Arts figure, shining example of how to do Farm Boy Luke. And I think with Hasbro's sculpting nowadays, they could easily do something in line with that, and it would be just as good. You know, they could still work in butterfly joints. It can be really well articulated, and it won't look like a giant piece of toilet paper is wrapped around your Luke Skywalker action figure.
Yeah, Luke truly is a Black Series blunder. Same thing with Han Solo. It's just that orange line 2013 figure of his most iconic look. It's just so painfully outdated, and we need a new Leia as well. And you brought this up kind of last minute, and you added Jawa and Tusken to this like retool, first pick for the episode. So I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. For the Jawa, I specifically want more soft goods. I want a New Hope version with a nice new soft goods skirt for more mobility. And the same thing with the Tusken. The lower half being that more like firm plastic really inhibits that leg articulation. And I think they would do a really nice job.
Yeah, give them some butters so they can actually wield all their melee weapons that they come with.
True. Justin, this next one, it's a pipe dream pick here. One that they've confirmed said is never going to happen, not possible. But, screw it, we're putting it on the list anyway. It's the HasLab X-Wing.
Yes, I specifically wanted to put this on here because, like you said, I know they've said it's too big and it's just not practical to manufacture, even as a HasLab. I don't care. Honestly, just figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out a practical way to do this. It's not my job to figure it out for you, so I literally have no ideas. but make it possible. Make it work. If you can do a TIE fighter, which the First Order TIE fighter is bigger than the Imperial TIE fighter, you can make an X-Wing. I know the wingspan would be like 4 or 5 feet long. I forget. I know we all did this months ago.
Yeah.
I forget if it's 4 or 5 feet. I totally get it. Like that wingspan, I mean, it would be like...
Have the wings removable so they're separate.
Yeah.
In the box. I honestly think it could be done. It would be massive, and realistically, I think the biggest issue would be in where your average collector would display it in their home. I think that would be the biggest issue, because we already see that with anyone that owns the Black Series TIE Fighter. Like, it is a constant struggle.
On my floor.
Yeah, you either put it on the floor or you put it on your ceiling and you pray to the fig gods that thing doesn't come crashing down in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to undersell the scale, because I think with Black Series and 1/12, I think scale and what's possible is completely misunderstood from the community, especially the people who are like, they should do a lat gunship, $200 on Walmart store shelves.
Right.
A lat gunship, I guarantee you, if they truly made it 1/12, it would be over 1K, maybe even like 1.5K. And I'm not kidding. Look at the scale. Do the conversions.
Huge.
And the X-Wing is huge. I mean, look at the screenshots from the film. But they did it in TVC. They scale it down a little bit.
Yeah, just slight downscaling.
Just make it work. And I'd be down for anyone. Obviously, Luke Skywalker would be the safest choice, but for a HasLab, I'll also be down for Porkins or Biggs Darklight or Red Leader, Gold Leader.
I was gonna say, for a HasLab, they definitely need to go obscure. And I think Porkins would be that'd be a given. It'd be so good.
Is obscure the way to go for HasLab though? Because I could totally see a huge negative reaction to Porkins. It's Luke Skywalker. He's the main character.
Well, I think a new Luke would have to be the gimme, like, pack-in. Like, that just comes with it.
Right. So, at the end of the day, it's just one of the most iconic vehicles in all of Star Wars. We got the Snowspeeder. We got the TIE Fighter. I know they're smaller than the X-Wing, but just give us one more. And just go all out on a HasLab. Give us that HasLab level detail, quality, and just make it work.
Yep.
That's literally, it's on the list, so you have to do it now. Up next is 3B6RA-7.
Hey,
and
nice job.
If you don't know who that is the Death Star droid on the Sandcrawler with all the Jawas. In the first half of the film, he's kind of determining what the droids are doing, piloting the Sandcrawler. I don't know what he's doing, but he's dope. And this figure has a TVC release, and they market it as Death Star Droid.
Ah, okay. I see.
It's like this one is that same model, but it's just on the Sandcrawler.
Yeah, so it's probably a little bit more grimy, a little bit more dirty.
Right. TVC can get it. We can get it. And that'll be a common theme, because we learn from Sarah Lynn Reynolds, who is a sculptor, designer, contractor who Hasbro commonly hires to do figures. And she confirmed on the Black Series Cantina podcast that they are indeed able to use the designs, or at least, start with the designs from either a 3 3/4 inch figure or a 6 inch figure and scale it up or down. Obviously, it's not as simple as that, because the lines have different articulation points and stuff like that. But it's like an easier process when they have that initial design to start with,
right,
instead of going from scratch. So the Imperial Protocol droid here, the Death Star droid, would be kind of easy for them to do.
Very easy, I think. And that moves us into our next pick, which is also going to be like a big cheating category, but for the sake of just having a pick, number 3 is Zutton. And I'm just going to put a / every Cantina alien we don't have already.
Right. Someone recently asked, so what's the one now that they're doing Hammerhead?
Yeah.
I was like, Zutton?
Yeah, I think Zutton would make a lot of sense. Maybe the Talls.
Deveronian.
Yeah, although the Deveronian's not in the movie anymore, so would they?
Well, I think the Deveronian is still in. I thought Wolfman was the one.
Yeah, you're right.
Which, give us a Wolfman.
Yeah,
theatrical.
Lat Sivrak. or whatever his name.
Give us Woo-Her.
Yeah.
By the way, Zutton is Snaggletooth for all the Kenner purists out there.
Yep. We could get him in blue or red to service.
Yeah, because they're like brothers.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something that, you know, there's the Kenner figures blue, but the actual character's red, or like the other one's a different character. Yeah, it's something weird like that.
Yeah, because I think one is blue, one is red, and they're brothers in the film.
Okay.
But whatever. Zutton, because that's what TVC has as well, so it's a similar thing. Like, they can just use that design as their initial little work and then work it up with that Black Series articulation. This is another one. It's like, okay, we got Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan. Great. We have Greedo. We're getting Hammerhead, Moma Nadan, finally. So I'm like, let's continue. I understand that Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan peg-warmed really hard. Yeah. And I know that, like, the cloner brain rot is real with Black Series. OT Purist, where you at? Show up for Moma Nadan, please, so we can get some more. But maybe if, you know, to counter the peg warming, just do like 1, maybe 2 a year. I'm fine with getting 1 a year, sure. Let's get Zutton. Our second to last pick here is kind of in that same vein of that whole sequence of the Cantina and Mos Eisley Spaceport. This is Garen Dan, or Garendon.
I like Garen Dan.
I think it's Garen Dan. This is the Imperial spy. Long snout.
Something like
the Kenner, all the Kenner people, they just... whatever it visually looked like, that's what they kind of did with the Kenner toys and all the children of the 70s and 80s and 60s who grew up watching the movies. But I'm going by canon, Garen Dan.
Yep.
And give us the fig.
Yeah, this one would be really cool. Obviously, Alien, so you know Hasbro would do a great job. This is a figure that we've seen a lot of customizers do. Landspeeder Luke has made one. And the thing that stood out to me is that, you know, it was essentially Frankenstein together with already existing parts for the most part. So this could be a figure we could realistically get, and we would just need, you know, a couple different, a new head, maybe some new pieces here and there. And I just don't understand why they're leaving so many of those opportunities on the table when it comes to, like, obscure OT aliens. Like, they did it great with Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan. That concept really worked, where they look close enough. They're not like 100% screen accurate, but they're close enough. I don't know why we're not getting more.
Right, and it's worth it, even if it is just a slightly inaccurate, to get such a deep cut as well. So Garen Dan would be awesome. I would just pose him right next to the Sand Troopers, getting ready to snitch.
Yep, posed around a corner or something like that. You know, peeking around the dewback. I don't know.
Again, that's a common theme here. We really want to go deep cut. I know at the beginning we were like, we need new sculpts for everything that they've made so far.
Yeah.
But it is true that we are big on the background characters, the aliens, the secondary characters, basically your Glup Shittos. I mean, you guys know how we are about Max Rebo, so we'll get to Return of the Jedi. But that is an absolute staple of Star Wars toy collecting. That is... I mean, Kenner had so many of those characters in their line that we love so much. And I kind of just feel like that's such a huge part of Star Wars for us.
Right.
And it just saddens me. It kind of pains me to see kind of the newer generation, which we're not even old.
Right.
It's so stupid. Like, I'm 28, and sometimes I feel like I'm like an old grandpa yelling at a cloud, like, you damn Clone Wars kids, get off my lawn.
Even though we also like the Clone Wars, but...
I love the Clone Wars.
It is painful to see Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan rotting on the shelves at Ollie's. They can't even be moved at a severe discount.
Yeah, it hurts, but I know there's still a healthy portion of us in the Black Series community out there that wants these background characters, and I hope Hasbro makes them. And let your voice be heard. Express your opinions, because they read this stuff. Their little focus groups and their little analytical teams, they pay attention to the fan votes. They pay attention to comments and this sort of stuff. So if you are an OT purist like us, please let your voice be heard.
our number one pick for this list is actually one of our most wanted figures of all time. Period. End of story. It's been on the list for a long time. Yep. It's the Imperial Gunner. Where is the Imperial Gunner, Justin? You could, just like we said before, take a figure that already exists, make a new head, then a new overlay,
yep.
and it would be so easy. It would be done.
Right. And we have like every Imperial from the original trilogy, except for the AT-ST driver, the Imperial Gunner, and then the first Star Wars film, this is what we're doing. There is like that rocket pack trooper that's like outside of the Death Star in space when the Millennium Falcon is docking. I don't think they've ever made a toy of that. Give me that too, but for the sake of this list, I think the Imperial Gunner, when I think of like iconic Imperial designs, this is like the biggest one that's missing.
Yeah.
The dish, like completely covered helmet face thing is so cool.
It's always, stood out ever since being a little kid. You're like, what's going on with this trooper? Why is the helmet like that? Why do they have this big oblong helmet on their head? What purpose is that serving? Because all they're doing is sitting there, flipping switches, pressing buttons and stuff. Why do you need the helmet?
This is another one that has a TVC figure, so same logic. Just
Yep. It would be so easy to do. So many repack opportunities. I would be in for at least 2.
Oh, yes, for sure. Yeah, it's just one of the most iconic Imperial designs that we have left. So it's always just stuck out to me, that one I really, really wanted. And you're right, it is like our top 3, maybe even. Maybe.
At this point, considering this year, half of our most wanted list was wiped out in one go. So the Imperial Gunner has definitely crept up there. And this is another one that, of course, we would love to have it on a brand new body. No questions asked. But the reuse is also just right there.
And they have like that new Andor Aldani, like he's wearing an Imperial officer.
Yeah, he's got like new legs.
Yeah.
The arms are pretty decent. And I mean, even they could just get some mileage out of a new Imperial body.
Right, like the naval officer.
They could figure out a way to do like a new overlay system to where they could, maybe like swap out the overlay so they can change the rank and change the suit design a little bit.
I'm down.
I feel like with where the Black Series is right now, all of this, it's within our grasp.
You just have to reach out and take it.
And so that's all we have for you on this episode of Figure It Out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars, the Black Series here on the channel. Once again, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everyone out there. We hope you have a safe and happy holiday. We're going to be hanging out with the fam.
Yeah, no stream this weekend. However, next week, Sunday, December 31st, we are doing our annual Out of the Basement community gaming stream. So if you do have Star Wars Battlefront 2004, that's the original game on Steam, computer, PC, you can join our game. It's super easy to do. The game is super cheap on Steam. It's super easy to join the game once we host it.
Yep.
And anyone can play, anyone can join the game. But if you are a channel member, which link in the description to the channel membership, a couple different tiers there, you can go ahead and join our little audio chat on Discord. We have a private audio chat for channel members when we're gaming.
Nice.
So tune in, again, Sunday, December 31st, 1 p.m. Central Time, Star Wars Battlefront gaming stream.
Also, check out our Discord. There are links for everything down in the description of this video. And we got to give a huge shout out and a special thank you to our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And thank you to everyone else out there for watching. I'm Nate, joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.